Hello and welcome to Female Cricket Live. The 14th match of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup was played today between Australia and West Indies, which Australia went on to win by 7 wickets. Batting first, West Indies posted 131 as they were bundled out in 45.5 overs, thanks to Elise Perry and Ashley Gardner, who picked up 3 wickets each. For West Indies, it was their captain, Stephanie Taylor, who top scored with a 91 ball 50. In reply, Australia made the chase look very easy as they completed the formalities in just 30.2 overs, winning the match by 7 wickets. Australia's vice captain and also their opening batter, Rachel Haynes, top scored with an undefeated 83 to lead the run chase from the front. For West Indies, Chanel Henry, Haley Matthews, and Shamilia Connell were the wicket takers as they struck with 1 wicket apiece. So after this match, we can see that Australia have won all the 4 matches in their World Cup campaign so far, while the West Indies have won 2 out of the 4 matches. Now ahead of us, we have yet another exciting contest. It is between India and England. The match will be played tomorrow, that is 16th of March, and it will be played at the Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. The match will start at 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and you can catch all the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. Now, to talk more about this exciting contest between India and England, I have with me Dhanush Lavanya, Urvi Shah, Mrinal Asija, Mihir Shah, and Anish D'Souza. So, Dhanush Lavanya is a content writer at Female Cricket. Urvi Shah is a mental health facilitator and an avid cricket writer. Mrinal Asija is a social media manager at The Bridge, which is a one stop solution for all the Olympic sports and women's cricket data. And we have Mihir Shah and Anish D'Souza, who are avid cricket followers and members of North Stand Gang, a cricket enthusiastic community of Wankhede Stadium in Amchi, Mumbai. So I welcome all of you to Female Cricket Live.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. All right. So Mihir, I'm sure that you must be pretty happy with India's performance in the last match against West Indies. They broke West Indies' 2 match winning streak and they defeated West Indies by 155 runs. So your first thoughts on India's performance in that match?
One word: perfect. Perfect day at the field, I would say. We batted well. Middle order came good, except for Mithali. We can discuss about that later on. But and the bowling, fielding, everything was good. Yastika obviously gave us a good start, which was a good kickstarter at the start, and then Smriti and Harman played the gem of innings. I think so. The innings of the World Cup so far by either of them, and then our bowlers chipped in regularly. Fielding was good. We did runouts. It is like that, and I don't think so. We dropped any catch in the match. So yeah, so overall a perfect match, I would say. And against going to a West Indies side who was coming on a ride of 2 back-to-back victories. It was like that, and they had defeated good teams over there, and it was like that. So they were on the confidence was high of that team, and the team is good. The team is an upcoming good team of West Indies. Obviously, before the cup they were not a contenders, but with those 2 wins, they were telling we are in the top. We would be in the contention to be in the last 4 for semis. So yeah, a perfect game for us.
Yeah, indeed. So, Anish, I would like to know your thoughts on how India has won the last game. They're coming with a very strong win momentum, and England on the other side is coming from straight losses. Under a lot of pressure of winning this game, it's like a do or die game. So, how much that is going to play on their mind? Because one thing is you perform well, and the other thing is you perform with the pressure of performing well. So, what are your thoughts on how England looks like according to you for tomorrow's game?
So for England, it will be like a do or die. So they will have to. They are currently they have their backs against the wall. So they will pull out all guns. They will come all guns blazing and try to play out of their skin to defeat India. And have a feeling that this can play into India's hands. That they will try and take advantage of it. And because when England make a slight mistake, then their entire confidence will drop. So India can look to uh, find those gaps and catch them off guard. So I feel it would be it's going to be India who has the upper hand right now there, especially after coming from a huge win against West Indies, who were undefeated in this tournament.
Absolutely. I think, Anish, you are right in saying that probably England will be playing under pressure given the fact that they are defending champions, and probably that could play in the hands of India. So, all right, Dhanush, moving on to you. England, as we have discussed earlier, that they are coming out from three losses. We all know that those were three close games. All right, they are not like one sided affairs, we may say so. But what do you think is leading to this England's undoing? Because we have seen that there have been 8 dropped catches in 3 matches. Their batting and bowling have looked good, but the fielding has been a problem. Do you think there are some more concerns with this England team?
Yeah, we always talk about moments in the game, right? Cricket is not just played like, oh, it's just out there, going out there and smashing every delivery. It's like opening has to be really good. Then in the middle overs, you have to make sure that you don't throw up wickets and you continue scoring well, making sure the scoreboard is moving. And when the death overs come, the last 10 overs is when you have to utilize the situation, the field restrictions, and the ball will be old, and it will be quite easy to score runs. And you have to make sure those 10 overs are really good for you. That's how we always talk about cricket, right? Unfortunately, England, they haven't been able to win those moments of the matches, especially the last crucial 3-4 overs of the game, where they have failed. Where they have failed to live up to the standards that they have. The first two games, they couldn't chase off the score as they were batting second, and lost the match by 12 runs and 6 or 7 runs against West Indies. And day before yesterday, we saw the match. Yesterday, we saw against them against South Africa, and they weren't able to defend the score with the ball as well, unfortunately. And it is a situation which a team doesn't want to repeat themselves into. We have seen a lot of, if I can take any similarities to men's cricket or franchisee cricket, I can talk about Punjab Kings in IPL. They are also a team who have history of losing matches by these 3-4 run margin, and that becomes a habit after a time. So that will be the same situation that England are currently, because they have lost three continuous games in a very close quarters, and it will be making the team a lot more unhappy, even if they had been decimated by the opposition, like how Australia did to West Indies today. They would go back and regroup. But this is a situation which they have to make sure that their mental strength is there at their best, and they have to carry themselves up and bring themselves into the game tomorrow, because tomorrow is a do or die situation for them. They have 4 matches left. They have New Zealand after tomorrow's game, and then they have Pakistan and Bangladesh, which they can easily win, is what I feel. But it is tomorrow's match and the match against New Zealand that is going to matter them. They have to win all the four. There is no way to go for them. It is do or die for them.
Yeah, right. Totally, as Danish mentioned, that last 10 overs is very, very crucial, and we have seen how frustrating it has been for England to not get through the end, chasing in the last 5 overs specifically. So, Mihir, I would like to ask you here that we are talking about the last 10 overs, right? Do you feel that England is focusing way too much on the closing the game instead of playing freely? Or do you feel getting one pure batter down the order can really help them towards the end of the game? What do you feel? What's happening out there? Um,
Mihir, can you unmute yourself?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So I think so. The main concern with the England team currently, I think so, is the form of their captain, Heather Knight. So she's very, very she's having a poor run of form, like how we were discussing about Herman at the start, and she is the core of the group. I think so. If she is there, she performs. Everybody will perform. It is like that. So she is the main concern, which they would like. Obviously, she is the captain. She knows what about her game. She's an experienced player, so she knows what to do. But as we all know, form is nothing. Nobody can do much about it. It has to come. Good for us if she's not in form, but yeah, if I have to take from an England perspective, they would like her to click, and maybe I would say they're over dependent on Sophie. in the terms of the bowling department. It's like that. Like against the South Africa game, also I think so they kept her too late. I think so she came and bowled the 47th or the 48th over. I think so. If she would have come over earlier, she would have given more chances. Yeah, she had only one over left at that point of time, but then I think so you should try and close the game earlier or something like that, because South Africa could also tremble under pressure. So yeah, so it's one batter is not form, and then they're over dependent in terms of the bowling of Sophie Eccleston.
Yeah, since we're talking about the bowlers, England have a very experienced fast bowling unit in Catherine Brunt. They have Anna Shabsole, they have Natalie Siver. Um, Dhanush, and of course they have Sophie Eccleston, who's one of the best left-arm spinners. So Dhanush, who do you think will Indian batters would be looking to attack and score freely against, and which bowler do you think they'll try to just negotiate and get through their overs?
As far as India's batting is concerned, I feel that they have to utilize the power play overs because Catherine Brunt will be up front. She is the experienced head in that team when it comes to bowling, but she hasn't been that good. She has been average in the first three matches. So the openers must make sure that they get a good start. If Yastika Bhatia can give the same start like how she gave against West Indies, it's going to be really helpful. They have to certainly make sure that they play safe to Sophie Eccleston because she is the world number one ODI bowler, and she is someone who has been excellent over the last couple of games. And she's utilizing the wickets and the conditions to her requirements, and it is looking good from her. And when it comes to bowling, and as far as the other bowlers is concerned, any Shrubsole or Kate Cross, they haven't been as effective as they should be. And Amy Shrubsole had a very good match against South Africa the previous day, but she is also someone who has conceded quite a number of runs in the first two games. And India must make sure that they have a very good start against these two opening bowlers. If they get a very good start, if they get a 60-70 start, that's way more enough for them in the first 10 to 15 overs. That will be more than enough for them to score to end up at 280 or 300.
Absolutely. And as we are talking about this exciting contest between India and England, we are joined by Niranjana Nagarajan, who has been India's pace sensation, and she has played for India between 2008 and 2016, and she has featured in all the three formats. So, a hearty welcome to you, Niranjana, on Female Cricket Live.
I'm sorry for appearing late. I was just held up. Very nice to
No,
be back here and congratulating the Indian team on their fantastic run so far. So let's proceed on the show.
Like, and Niranjana, this is obviously England have been on a losing streak. They've lost first three matches of the tournament, and they are now in a do or die situation almost. Do you think this will add extra pressure on Indians, knowing that they'll come very hard at them because they have to win? England has to win from now on, or do you think this will actually favor India? This situation.
Absolutely not. I think India are on a real good high after the consecutive wins, and it's like they will definitely not think about the opponents. I mean, being in the Indian team and knowing the mentality of the players and the atmosphere there, I think it's always been like. They've always played to us, their strengths. That is the first plus of this current Indian side. I mean, so there is absolutely no need of the team. The team's on the winning streak, so they will only concentrate on areas to improve and how better they can do to continue this winning streak. And even though if they have won in the team meetings, there might have been one or two areas which they would like to improve on. They would have discussed it. So I think the Indian team, the mindset and the players mindset will only be to focus on those areas which will better their performance on the field, to just continue the winning momentum. As far as why would we actually worry about the English mindset? It is completely not in our radar. But the our girls, our team will definitely take this match as another, a very important game in the way through to the semifinals. So they will be actually wanting to approach without any kind of lackluster in their mindset or something, and they will leave no stone unturned to in their practice sessions. Definitely, India will only play to their strengths, and this will definitely not add pressure to the team. In fact, I would say probably tomorrow it's advantage India.
Right, let's hope so. Um, Mihir, we have seen in the last year the India tour of England that Shafali Verma and Catherine Brunt have formed a nice rivalry. There's always some words being exchanged when Catherine Brunt gets Shafali Verma out, which has happened quite a few times. Would you like to see Shafali coming back into the 11 just because so that we can get another episode of the same?
Uh, I would not like to happen that at the cost of the team winning. It is like that, or winning, disturbing a combination. Yastika performed well in the previous match, but before that against New Zealand, she was a slow starter. But yes, if the team has given her a chance after dropping Shefali after first match, and she did well in the previous game, I think so. And she gave the start. The start what see Smriti and Harman took it forward, but the start what Yastika gave a 20 ball 30, that was very important in the power play, because West Indies had a very good bowling lineup, and it has mixed variety. It was like that. It is just not a right arm pacer coming and bowling at a good length or just outside of. They have finger spinners, they have slow spinners. It is like that left arm. So it was a mixed combination which she in the initially she got it. So I would not like, yeah, maybe we can keep that rivalry to bilateral for a later stage. Maybe when England tours India, it is like that. But I would stick to Yastika now, because she has done well. I only That's the only matter.
So I think as Mihir has spoken that probably India could go ahead with the same opening combination in Smriti Mandana and Yastika Bhatia, the two southpaws. Moving on to the middle order, of course. Anish, I wanted to know your thoughts that Mithali Raj finally came in at number three. We all were wanting to see her at number three. Unfortunately, she did not have a great day at office. But then Deepti Sharma came in at number four and Harmanpreet Kaur at number five. So I would like to know your thoughts whether you're happy with this batting order or you want to see some changes in the middle order. Uh, can you unmute yourself, Anish? Thank you.
So actually, I'm now quite happy with the batting order because I don't think there should be any changes which are not required. It worked in the last match against West Indies, and there were partnerships along the way. The only thing is that Mithali Raj is going through a bit of a slump in her form, but I'm sure she will come back. So so
Yeah,
I think there should not be any change in the batting order.
if I can add something on this, like before the last match, Ramesh Pawar also had suggested like there might be some changes in the batting order, which we saw it. And as we have been discussing, like Dipti is very street smart. Like she can come in at 3, 4, 5 wherever as the situation is required. It is like that. So we have to see how it goes. How we are chasing or we are batting first. I hope we bat first at the Bay Oval tomorrow, because historically it has been a good the place where the team batting first has won. It is like that. Mithali has to bat at three. See, if she has to take some balls to get a start and get it, it has to be at three. She cannot come and consume balls at four, or she obviously she'll not bat at five, but at four she cannot do that. It is that the Haman or Dipti, depending on the situation, at four or five, I would say it is that.
Yeah. So now that I have this opportunity, Niranjana, hi, I would really like to ask you something uh,
That would be.
from the bowling perspective. Um, about wicket taking, when we talk about wicket taking, what do you think from your experience playing for India, and now that India is playing in World Cup, where do you think it is important to pick up wickets? Is it like early in the power play, like in the middle overs, or towards the end, like which is the crucial phase of picking up wickets to actually rattle the batting order of the opponent?
That's actually a very good question. See, being a fast bowler, the mentality that I've developed through these years, it's always like when you bowl, it's your duty to take wickets. You don't bowl to, at that level, or when you train, you don't just bowl to go and bowl dot balls. That anybody can actually, if they try, they can do dot balls. But your mindset has to be to take wickets when the captain is giving the ball to you. They need wickets. That's how I train my mind. So see, the position in which you're bowling, when I'm opening, it's actually very very crucial for me. Like how a few points earlier we discussed that a 10 over 70 runs is important for a team to have a good start. When you're bowling up front, it is your duty to give a good start for the team. If what if England is batting tomorrow and they are 5 overs and 10 for 2? That's advantage for us at that time. And if they are chasing, say about 240, 250 is a good total. It's a gettable total these days. So when I'm defending a target, again, their early wickets are important. So it like I wouldn't say, whenever you come into bowl, your mindset has to be to take wickets. So you finished your job as an opening bowler. In the first spell, you've got 2 wickets, and then when you come into the middle overs, the situation of the game will change. Probably the game pace will slow up a bit. At that time, probably the captain will say, okay, I want you to slow things up. You can just go in for like 2 or 3 runs on over, and in that process, probably the other end, if the bowler is getting wicket, you're doing your job for the team then. And maybe again, I would say, to come and bowl in the death overs, picking up wickets there is more important. So for me, if you ask, the the first few overs and controlling and getting wickets in the death overs is like a very very crucial thing. So that is why, that's what I have gone through as a fast bowler, and that is the thing I think the bowlers are also following. That is more crucial.
So just to add to that question, if I may ask you, Niranjana, India have played 3 matches so far. They have bowled out 2 teams, right? Pakistan and West Indies. They have managed to pick up 9 wickets against New Zealand. Do you expect the Indian
Exactly.
bowling attack to bowl out England tomorrow?
Why not? I mean, it's just about the confidence. I think the bowlers have been doing really well. I think Pooja has had a great game. Julian has been bowling tight line and length initially. Whenever she's coming in to bowl, Sneha Rana has been outstanding. That's the thing. The difference between the bowlers and the batsmen. When the batsman is doing well, the 100 and everything is highlighted. But when the bowlers are doing well, it goes. I wouldn't say it goes unnoticed, but it's not much spoken about. But the spells are actually very very important. The spinners, one match Rajeshwari delivered, one match Sneha Rana has delivered. So like the bowlers are also in a tremendous form. It's just that we need the right kind of total to defend, and when we're bowling up front, like when you're bowling initially, like the first innings, I think the bowlers will do well tomorrow. There are more chances that we get them all out than for us to just control them, because we are in an attacking mindset, whether it's batting or bowling, we are going for the kill. So I think that the batsman and the bowlers are having the same kind of mind sync, so they will go all out, and they will they'll definitely do that. I wouldn't be surprised if in England we get them bowled out for sure.
Yeah, so this really brings me to my next question. Dhanush, I would like to know your perspective when it comes to Indian batting order and batting attack and England bowling attack, because we know that both of them are coming from a very contrast mindset. So, do you see any changes happening to the England bowling attack tomorrow, considering that Indian batting order might probably just keep the consistency going on in the next game?
Definitely, India will be coming to the match with a lot of confidence for sure. As far as England is concerned, they don't. There is no need for them to do any changes in their squad, is what I feel. It is because I just feel that they have already done some changes in their squad. They bought Charlie Dean into the squad into the playing 11 in the previous match against South Africa, and they have added an extra bowler in the form of her. She is the another spinner with Sophie Eccleston. But as far as the approach is concerned for England, it just needs to be that the experience of Strapsul and Catherine Brunt has to be shown in the match on the field, because that hasn't been done in the first 3 matches. They haven't picked up wickets up front. They haven't bowled the right lengths. They have conceded a lot of runs also. It is important for those two experienced heads to go out there and perform well. And Sophie Eccleston, we all know middle over, she is going to be really good. And Indian batsmen, like how I said before, they will utilize the the lack of form of Catherine Brunt and Aini Stupsol and Smriti Mandana and Yastika Bhatia will try to score maximum amount of runs in the power play overs. But England, they are in a do or die situation, and they have to give their best in this match. And Heather Knight, the captain of the England squad, is saying that she is confident that her side will get themselves back into this game, and they will come out and they will give their best, because the record is pretty much simple for them: do or die. 4-0 is what they have to do going forward. So for them, there is nothing to lose, is what I feel. If they lose, they certainly are out of the tournament for sure. The defending champions will be out of the tournament, but they will be in a mindset of attacking, irrespective of the team they are playing, India or New Zealand or any other side. And as far as tomorrow is concerned, I feel that they will come with a lot more aggression and a lot more attacking mindset compared to what they have over the last three matches.
Of course. And I think, as Dhanushu mentioned, that Heather Knight was pretty clear that she wants to go out on all guns and she wants to give a tough fight to India, as she said in her post match presentation in the previous match against South Africa. So I wanted to ask you that in the three matches that England have played so far, they have tried two opening combinations. Tammy Beaumont, of course, being the constant fixture there, but they have tried Lauren Winfield Hill and, of course, Danny Wyatt. Who do you think could open for England tomorrow? Will it be Wyatt or Winfield Hill?
I feel Danny White will be pushed up because she has just opened for them in one match, and she has the experience behind her. She has been in the side for the last 5-6 years, and she has played the opening slot quite regularly. Winfield Hill is someone who has been someone that they have backed for the last few years, but we saw the lack of form of her in the first two games, and she wasn't looking that good. And they replaced her with Danny White, and Danny White suits more when it comes to opening slot rather than her being at number 6. So I feel that Danny White is going to be continuing partnering Tammy Beaumont, and Tammy Beaumont has been having excellent World Cup till now. She scored a 40 in the second game, if I'm first or second game. Then she scored 60s and 70s. It's been really good for her. And the middle order, Heather Knight, like how Mihir said, she has to step up. The captain isn't showing up, and Nat Shiva, she had a very good first match where she scored 100, but after that, it hasn't been that good. Amy Jones, like how I said, the wicketkeeper had to step up, and she stepped up well. She had a 100-run plus partnership with Tammy Beaumont. She scored a 50 as well. And the rest of the batting unit, Sophia Dunkley and all these people, they have to finish off the innings, is what their major role is, and they have to stick to their roles and play accordingly.
Absolutely. I think England, they have a power-packed batting lineup, though they have not fired in this World Cup campaign so far, but we all know that they have an impactful batting. So, Niranjana, what do you think could be the Indian bowler strategy if they want to keep somebody like a Tammy Beaumont or a Nat Siver at bay tomorrow?
See, that's what I say. Are you able to hear me?
We
Hello?
can hear you.
Yeah, yeah,
We
Yes,
can
we
yeah,
can
we can
hear
hear
you.
you,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Niranjana.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's what as like I've earlier mentioned. There is not going to be any kind of change in the mind. I'm not able to. There's some kind of a disturbance somewhere.
We can hear you, Niranjana, properly. Don't worry. Go on.
Okay, fine. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think there'll be any necessarily any changes in the mindset that is forced in the approach of the Indian bowlers. They've been neat and clean in their disciplines. Probably one area which I'd like which can be improved. I mean, which we can improve is this slight slumpiness on the field, which was noticed. Probably we can work on that. Otherwise, I don't think the bowlers have been good consistent at one line and length, and considering England's form and considering that they've been on a losing streak and tomorrow is a do or die game for that. So if India is going to keep them in the consistent line and length basis, they have to go for their shot. It's not going to be easy for them to bat that freely tomorrow, considering the fact that everybody has to put their heads down and bat for their team. So all India has to do is to just continue the bowling momentum, continue bowling on the same line and length which they've done in the winning games. But against Pakistan or West Indies, the bowling have been really great. I think it's the same strategy that they'll continue tomorrow. Very simple.
All right. So, simple message from Niranjana that the Indian bowlers are going to keep it sweet and simple tomorrow when they take on England.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so we are getting some questions from our fans. If we can start taking them. Right, Vinay Kumar is asking, do you guys think England's poor show has anything to do with the extended bio bubble? Are we going to see Tash Farrant back? Dhanush, would you like to take this up?
I don't feel any biobubble thing. Certainly, they have gone through a very bad women's ashes. They lost all the games out there, and they came into this World Cup not so confident, and that maybe has a after effect with their performances here. I don't feel so. It's always I always think that it's the performance on that specific day is what it is what where you can show your best, and till now there hasn't been anything as far as the bowling is concerned. I feel that they have a very good set of bowlers. I don't feel there is any need for the changes, because if they do changes every single game, it's going to clutter the whole mindset of the side. They won't be able to get that perfect playing 11 or anything like that. As we always talk, the first 2 3 games is where you have to decide your playing 11. Now that they have lost all the 3 games, they shouldn't continue doing the changes. They have to stick to their playing 11 and back them up and say that you are the side that are going to win the game for us. And if they commit into the match with that approach, that would be more than enough.
All right. So Dhanush expects that England could play the same playing 11 that we have seen earlier when they took on South Africa. All right. Can we take the next question? Rajeshwari Paramsivam is asking, it is going to be the sixth match at that venue. Whether they'll be using the same pitch. If India won the toss, what would be the better choice? Anish, would you like to answer this?
It's a bit of a doubt whether they'll be using the same pitch. But in this tournament, after the 5 matches that have been played at this ground, 3 of them have been won by the team batting first. So I would think that if India win the toss, they should look to bat first and post a total around 240, 250 odd. So that would be a good. And because in the first match that West Indies won against New Zealand, if New Zealand had to chase down that target, that would have been the highest score ever chased in the World Cup. So I guess batting first would be a better choice for India if they win the toss.
Yes, of course. And I think, as Anish mentioned, that 3 out of the 5 matches teams batting first have won at the Bay Oval. And also, if we see the World Cup record, till now, 14 matches have been played and 10 matches have been won by teams batting first. So let us see what happens going into the toss tomorrow. All right. Can we take the next question? Priyansh Pasi is asking, I want to know why doesn't Herman get bowling? And what are the things that England and India need to take care of about each other? Niranjana, would you like to answer this? Why is Herman not bowling?
Very simple, because full-time bowlers are doing a great job. There is no there, as far as the tournament, how is it going? There has not been any necessity for Harman to come in and chip in those overs, because you know the sixth or seventh bowling option. India already has 6 full-time bowlers. Seventh bowling option only comes when the first 6 fails, or probably there has not been any situation where Harman you know had to come and bowl in. And Harman has been doing well with the bat, so maybe the team wants her to concentrate fully on her batting so that she's more efficient for the coming games, and she's totally into the zone of batting. So that is the only thing. I think I don't think there will be any specific reasons why Harman is not coming to bowl. It depends on how the match is going. It's very simple, and I'm not able to understand what is that other things England and India need to take care of about each other. Means, I mean, I'm not able to get that question, as in, like, any aspects which they should take care of the team.
Yeah.
I'm not able
Yeah.
to.
Maybe probably like we know that Anya Shrapsol and Kathleen Brunt are two experienced fast bowlers that England will open with. And Yastika Bhatia relatively young to international cricket. Smriti Mandana, of course, an established player. So probably something like that he's trying to ask. Maybe.
Okay. Yes. In that way, I just Brunt and Shrapsol have not really stepped up to the occasion. Maybe tomorrow they'll come all guns blazed. But in the contrast, I think Yastika is just chipping into some good form. So I don't think it will be a great concern for both the teams to take care of what the other team's strengths are. England will come with their strategy, and India is just going to look to continue the winning momentum. So I think that will be as simple as it tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Can we have the next question? Rajeshwari Paramsivam is asking also how will it support our spinners and how our batters need to tackle their spinners, Sophie Eccleston, Heather Knight, and Charlie Dean. Mihir, would you like to answer this?
Okay. Uh, as you all know, like Sophie is the number one bowler. It is like that. So, how you tackle the Indian team is an experienced one. Like Yastika, relatively new, but everybody else is quite experienced. So they know how to. They've played quite often against her also. So they would know like how to play against her. If what is the situation currently, and then they will play it accordingly to that. It's you have to play according to the match situation. You cannot preamp in the dressing room. Okay, I'm going to play the first three balls like, and then again it is there. You have to do that. And as we have been discussing, it is like that. England will be under pressure. Whoever is the bowler, like if you're the number one bowler, also there are stats. You are in good form. Those are stats. But then again, it's on the day how the opposition is. Like India is on a high, as Niranjana also said that India is on a high. They will be looking to good, and they'll try and put more pressure on England. Any which ways there is more pressure on England in terms of surviving in the World Cup. And if we start well, then it would be more pressure on England, I would say. It is there. So I don't think so we'll have much issue and tackle in the sense. So it's not a very turning track. What we just saw in Bangalore in the test match where the ball was turning, it is like that. So it's not that of a big concern. Yeah, play sensibly, and we should do good.
All right. Let us hope that the Indian batters are able to take on the English spinners well tomorrow. All right. We have, I think, one more question from our fans. Okay. Rajeshwari Paramsivam is asking New Zealand opened their bowling with Francis Mackay. Similarly, if they open their bowling with Sophie Eccleston, how far will it affect our power play and momentum? Niranjana, would you like to answer this?
First of all, I don't think they will open with Sophie Eccleston because both are left-handers. They will. There are high chances they will only open with their experienced fast bowlers because at the end of the day, experience counts. Even if they have not stepped up, like I wouldn't say they have not stepped up. They have. It's just not. They have not had their days. Their fast bowlers. So tomorrow also they will open with both medium paces, 90%. And even if they open with Sophie Eccleston, it is not going to be a problem for us because the ball is going to come in or the ball is going to go straight. So, which means Smriti is strong in mid wicket. Yastika is stronger in mid wicket region. We've been seeing that through the matches, and I've seen Yastika personally also. So, it's not going to be a concern at all. So, I mean, I don't think it's probably possible for them to do something like that when both are opening with left-handers. Probably if Shefali has had played in the 11, I mean, if she is doing well, they might think like, okay, a left arm spinner can come into the attack, and probably the ball going away will probably slow down their momentum. But now I don't think Pilsen will be a good choice, and they won't do think like that at the international level. Is what I feel.
Okay. So according to Niranjana, England will go with the tried and tested combination of Brunt and Shrubsole in the match tomorrow
and
against
and
India.
and also I'd like to just say that Shrubsole is actually, she cannot be taken lightly because she's a I've played against her. She's a fighter, and knowing that her spells have not contributed as much as she wants to, tomorrow she'll definitely come well prepared to bowl well. And so their mindsets will be like to open with the fast bowlers only. On her day, Shrubsole is really good. So India will prepare more to play Shrubsole than Eccleston. That's what I feel.
Yes, and I think in the last match against South Africa, Shrubsole picked up 2 wickets, which was the most
That was
by any Indian.
one
Yeah.
beautiful ball that one came in. That was really good. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So again, it has been amazing talking to all of you. Thank you, Niranjana, Dhanush, Urvi, Mrinal, Mihir, and Anish for taking out time and talking to us about this exciting contest between India and England. The match will be played tomorrow, that is March 16, at the Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui, and it will start at 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So all of you can catch all the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. And we'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. to review this match between India and England. So do join us for a conversation tomorrow at 3 p.m. and send us your questions using hashtag Female Cricket Live. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.